What's up, y'all? I know this is not the clearest video. I'm just doing this from my computer. This time, probably going forward, I'll just continue to do it from my phone. But I received the biggest Christmas present ever today. I visited a psychic and I spoke with my deceased relatives and others. And it was very enlightening and healing for me. I spoke with my mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother, my father, um, an ex boyfriend, and some other very precious people to me. And I gotta say, if you guys watched any of my other videos, you know that I was brought up in a dysfunctional family. My mother and my dad had me when they were just like 20 and 21, and they didn't know what to do. And my mother got caught up in drugs. And the earliest memory I have is seeing a white man standing in the bathroom in our home with newspaper on the floor and blood dripping from his arm onto the floor as he was taking a needle to stick into his arm to push the heroin inside. So I was in a dangerous environment. If I was able to see that, then, I was not being protected and I was not in a safe environment. So I was taken away from my parents and went to stay with my grandmother. But my grandmother was a product of a rape. Yes, my great grandmother was raped as a teenager by a half Indian, a half Native American, um, African American um, Native person. He raped her. And so that is where the dysfunction seed entered into our bloodstream. And so um, the mothers it ended up raising the children of their daughters because they were so young. My great grandmother, I think, was 14 when she was raped and gave birth to my grandmother. And then there was very little guidance, for our people. We were coming out of, we had been through slavery and Jim Crow and all of that. So there was very little guidance. And, but that's where the really damaging seed entered through the rape. So, my grandmother, she had my mom early, and her mother raised her, and my grandmother took us in, and so we stayed in the family. We didn't go into foster care, but my grandmother, she didn't know how to raise no kids either. She didn't even raise my mother. So I suffered a lot of abandonment because my grandmother would leave us in the home alone and go off and party for several days at a time. So I grew up with a big abandonment issue, and I was not able to live a normal childhood and have those experiences that children normally experience and learn how to socialize and things like that. Because I was busy missing my mom and my grandma and chasing after my grandma, hoping she would come back. And so I didn't have a normal childhood. And so I really developed late in life. But I talked to all of them this evening, and it has been very healing to me. And I would tell you guys, I told them, I forgive them, and I have to keep reminding myself, that I forgive them because, like I said in another video, each of us must experience every aspect there is to life, and we each grow from a position of not having any love at all. So what I'm saying is I probably have had a lifetime where I was like them. Okay? A lifetime where maybe I was caught up on drugs. A lifetime where I just ran and wanted to play and have fun and ignored my responsibilities. So did they apologize? I think they are sorry for the pain that they caused me, because it caused me tremendous pain and it cost me a lot. And so, I told him, I said, yeah, I have to work on remembering, that I forgive you guys because we each go through this. But the pain that you caused me, the hurt, that I endured, it's hard, 'cause, so I understand it's hard to forgive somebody who hurts you. They didn't, it hurt me intentionally. They just didn't know better. They were not wise enough to know better, to do better. So I forgive them. And they told me that they are observing me and they are watching me and that they are continuing to grow through me by seeing how I live my life. So not only are God's eyes on us, but those who've gone before us are watching us too. So we need to be good examples for them. Excuse me. They did say that they learned and that they will not repeat, so I'm glad that they won't do that. I talked to my father. My father loved me. He did not raise me, so I didn't really have any perspective on men in my life. Um, um, but he told me he loved me from a distance because he felt that he might hinder me if he played an active role in my life. I do not know why he felt that way, but that's the way he felt. But I do know he loved me. And I wish him well. And I told you I spoke to a man that I once loved who passed on, and he loved me. So I have been loved by a man who's not by my father. Real true love. This man gave me a second chance at a life, because he forgave me for something that I did. And he loved me, and so I just thanked him. And I asked to make sure that he forgive me for the choice that I made concerning him. I acted the best that I knew at the time. And he just told me, he said, yeah, girl, he's like, yeah, girl, don't even think about that stuff. Let that stuff go. So, um, and then also, you guys forgive yourself, because we're going to make mistakes. We're going to do things that are harmful to others and harmful to ourselves, because we're learning. We are learning. We are learning. This is a love journey, and sometimes it can contain a whole bunch of pain. But we have to learn to forgive ourselves as well as forgive others, as well. So I'm just so happy because it was healing to me. It was a relief. It was, so thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. So I hope that you all have an opportunity to, if you so desire, to speak with your loved ones who have passed on. And you may have some unfinished business with them. I found out some things that I was not necessarily aware of. I might talk about that in a different video. But I'm going to investigate that. And so yeah, remember, also, I not really didn't know, but the life path that I'm on now, what I'm doing now, the journey I'm on now, I am supposed to be on. If I had not chosen this path, God would have taken me away from earth. In other words, I would have died. Because I would not have been living the life that I was intended to live when I was born. So I'm glad to know that I'm on path and I'm on purpose. And also, last thing I want to say is that love is the most important thing to me. Love of myself and love of others. And like I always say in my videos, the simplest definition I have of love is just showing kindness to yourself and to others, and also being assertive when you need to speak up, someone's not treating you right. You don't have to return any unkindness or cruelty to them. You can definitely stop them from hurting you by speaking up and saying, "Oh, no, you can't do that to me. No, you're crossing the boundary. If you want to have a conversation with me, do not yell at me. Damn sure don't put your hands on me." Okay? And if you can't do that right now, then you need to walk away and come back when you can. All right? And if you don't think you can do that, then it's just time for us to say goodbye. And you go your way and I'll go mine. Do not let anyone hurt you. Don't let anyone just get away with speaking bad to you, because then they'll think it's all right. You have to speak up. But you can speak up in love. Being assertive is being loving, because you're holding the person accountable and you're holding yourself accountable, and you're letting people know what they can and can't do when it comes to you. So learn what assertiveness is and practice that. Look it up. Learn the simplest definition of love is just being nice, being kind. Y'all know what that is. Ain't nobody got to go all into detail about that. Everybody needs love. Everybody appreciates kindness. You know what being nice is. So yeah, God bless y'all. Bye.